we haven't got much time. We're going to open them up a little bit so that you can be late for your next appointment. You brought out your book yesterday, it's your autobiography. It's a very good read. I started reading it. I never thought that I would read the print rather than look at the photographs. The photographs, I'm going to watch them during the night when my wife is not around. I thought it went very well. Now, first of all, you said something which was interesting. You said that in your days, being black means you have to be twice as good. I mean, tell us something about it, because I wanted to know also when you teamed up with Chris Turlington and Linda Evangelista, and they were extremely good because they ganged up on you and said that if they did
No, they ganged up for me.
For me, yes, exactly, yes. Go on, explain how difficult it was.
I mean, when I started out, I was never raised, my mother, Valerie, who's here today, never really raised me in a way.
Mother, round of applause.
She was always just, you know, I was always just myself, and I didn't look at black, white. I was raised in a very no color code. And so when I started modeling, when I got to America, I put my hand out once for a taxi. Christy was my roommate, Christy Turlington, and the taxi drove past me, and Christy put her hand out and it stopped. And she says, well, I goes, well, why didn't you stop for me? He goes, black guy too. He goes, because you're going to Bronx. So I was like, no, I'm not. I'm going to bloody Manhattan. But that's just what he assumed, Bronx or Brooklyn, because I was black. Anyway, that's what I kind of dawned on me about the whole thing of race in America, and race in general in my business. And then I remember when I was signed to Yves Saint Laurent. I was 17 years old in Paris, and we were doing American Vogue with Bill King, French Vogue with Bill King, who's no longer with us. And I saw Linda say, we used to work to very late hours those days. It was waiting for the clothes from couture, so it goes from studio to studio. So 3 in the morning, we'll still be working. And I saw Linda say, can I have a French Vogue cover? And they said, no problem, you can have one. We can just go and do it now. And I thought, well, can I ask for one? And they said, oh, we don't know about that. And I was like, why can't I have one? And they were like, well, we've never given a black girl a French Vogue cover. And I was like, well, and they goes, well, so we don't think you can have one. So I remember I went back to Yves Saint Laurent, and I was very sad, and I said, I asked French Vogue for a cover, and they said no. And all he said was, we'll see about that. I don't know what he did, but I know he had power. And all of a sudden I know I got my French Vogue cover try. It was cover tries then in New York by Patrick Demarchelier, of which it went through. And I will always be grateful to Yves Saint Laurent, may he rest in peace too, for getting me that chance. And that's when it really dawned on me that, I mean, I was always aware, my mother told me that I had to work 110% no matter what job I took. Fashion or not fashion, whatever it was, my passion was and I wanted to be. And I wanted to be a dancer, and I went to a stage school to study dance. And but then I ended up doing fashion, of which she wasn't very pleased. And it was just, for me, I kind of realized then, but I was extremely lucky because, well, now back when I started, we had the designers were our support. We were very close, the designers and the models and the photographers. And then I had Christy and Linda. I had a great group of women that I came up with. Linda, Christy, Cindy, Tatiana, Stephanie, Claudia, and then of course we added Kate to our family. And my girls really supported me in the sense of, if a designer said like, and it wasn't that they were being racist, because I'm doing this thing now with Beth Ann and Iman called diversity, balanced diversity, in which what it is they obviously, and I want to look at it this way, I want to believe it's this way, because I don't want to believe they're a racist. I use the word very light. I don't use this word a lot. I don't like to use it. It's not an excuse for me to, it's always something I'm not going to use that word just because I couldn't get something. I'm going to find another way to get it. Linda, my group of women basically would go to designers and say, I'm not going to say the designers' names, I'm not going to call them out. They would say, they just had never thought about using a black girl in their show. And some of them, I'm friends with them till this day. And now they just do, but it was just like an after, just didn't think about it. So they would say, the same we do in the show, they'd be like, well, she's the best walker of all of us, and if you're not going to use her, you don't get us. And not many people would do that, would put themselves in jeopardy of losing a job for another girl. So when people say that we bitchy towards each other, absolutely not. We were very, very good friends. We were very much like family. And on our off days, which were not many, we also hung out together, had dinner together. It would be very lonely otherwise on the road. So we always stuck together and kept each other company. What was that? I could go on talking.
A But I mean, I suspect that you got your job because you were actually twice as good as everybody. I mean, there is a raise your element.
Well, there was a part where I had to take less money, which, and my mum had said to me and my agent, sometimes you have to take less money, even though you do the same job as Cindy, Christy and Linda, just because for the creative side of it, to show that you could be in the ad. And so and they would say, you take this for less money, but then more is going to come. So in this sense, I did many jobs for less money. It wasn't about the money, it was about just being in the ad for the level of the, what would you say that was, just for, just to be with all the great models and be at that same level and keep me in the group. So I did that many, many times, and I think maybe that's why I'm still here now. But all those designers then, who had no money, and now huge designers now, and they've never forgotten. So when they have gotten a job or gotten into a great position in their career, they remembered, and that's what's really sweet.
Well, I mean, you went through the most tumultuous period that fashion has ever seen. I mean, the growth, the 80s and the 90s, and it was
went through a great time. Yeah. I mean, fashion was fun. It was fun. I got to do the best of John Galliano shows. I mean, I remember when he first did his show, and I came home, I was like, Mum, this overwhelming feeling took over me. I didn't know anything about John, I just knew that John Galliano was a special man, and that being in his show was something pretty amazing if you could get picked to put in his show. The same with Versace, the same with Elia, same with Marc Jacobs, same with Vivienne Westwood. If you get chosen to be in these shows, you pretty much, your career was on the way.
Because it's theatre.
It was, and same with Alexander McQueen, it was fantasy, it was theatre, they would walk in and there was, one of the shows we would ride by train, some of them we was like in a garage. I mean, it was always, John would tell us a story and you'd have to become that story. And it was,
So is it a bit tacky to say Victoria's Secrets, as it were, but which looks to me fantastic, but they're all the same.
Well, be careful here, Naomi. I haven't actually learned myself. No.
Were you ever?
No, I was never an angel, and I think it's because they couldn't afford me. They only used me when it came time for the fashion shows, for which they got a lot of press out of me. It worked both ways. I'd invite all my lovely, well-known friends in the audience, and it worked both ways, and that's business.
But it shows you that it's not just the pretty girls and the blondes and the curvaceousness and so forth.
I've never been, it's about theatre for me, and I do come from an acting background. I'm not someone who can be like all cheeky tits and ass, that is not me.
Let's say that again.
But I would take on the character seriously, and it was more about the posture and the pose. It was, because there's no words. It's kind of like silent acting. But
okay, I'm going to spend 2 more minutes asking you or 2 questions which I've been dying to ask, and then I'm going to ask the audience. I mean, you knew everybody who are today legends. You mentioned Yves Saint Laurent, John Galliano. I mean, great photographers, Mario Testino, who was there last night, and so forth. Who do you remember as being the most extraordinary person who made such a deep impression on you, right from day one, that you would never ever forget? It was a wow.
There's many, but I think one of the ones closest to my heart, which I think if you know a bit about me, you'll understand, is Azzedine Alaïa. Azzedine Alaïa is a genius, and he's not only my papa in fashion, I call him papa, but there's no one else like him in the world, and the way he cuts. He does everything himself, he's unique, and the way he makes a woman's shape look is pretty amazing. And I love that he still has that work ethic today. Doesn't matter how much money he's made, doesn't matter how much success he's got, he cuts every pattern himself. He will never forget his workmanship. And so I appreciate him so much and love him. He's like my father.
I mean, I don't know anything about fashion, but when I see his dresses, they're all cut. So it doesn't matter whether you look you're a good figure or not.
It makes you look amazing.
It looks. I wish perhaps I should buy it. I know it's disgusting, but I never get it without it. So who else? One or 2 others.
Gianni Versace, yes. Yves Saint Laurent, Jean-Paul Gaultier, Marc Jacobs, Vivienne Westwood, Refat Ozbank. Alexander McQueen. I have to really actually say, I think a lot of the greats came from this country. They really do. Like,
On a desert island.
I think in England, I think what we have in England is we've got the designers that just take that risk. They don't follow what's going on. They do what they want to do, and they take that extra risk, and everyone follows them. I mean, Alexander McQueen was a genius too, and it's funny that he and Azadine had the same work ethic. He also cut his own patterns.
Okay, last question before I pass it on to the audience. Who would you have on a desert island? Only one person.
One designer.
Anyway.
Oh, who?
Anyway.
Oh Lord, I'm going to stay in the professional aspect here.
No, you've got plenty to choose, but I just wanted to squeeze one person out of you. Who would you have on the island?
Well, dead or living? Let's say I'd have Bob Marley.
Bob Marley. All right, quickly. Let's have a stream of short questions, no comments, and sensible. Otherwise, and intelligent. Okay, otherwise, okay, great. Go on, shout it out. Then we don't have to go around with those.
I'm about to marry a photographer.
No comment. Come on, question.
Can you show us how to do a bit of a pose?
Pose. You're about to marry a photographer?
Yeah.
And what do you need to know from me? Won't he tell you how to pose? You're nervous in front of your photographer husband. Well, how can you be? You sleep with him.
I know what you mean. You always curve your leg, don't you? In every model I
depends.
know.
Every photographer is different. They want you different posture. It's like, I mean, we really do need massage therapists badly. There's very lot of painful positions we've had to put ourselves through.
Okay,
but there weren't.
the man, yeah, go on.
Naomi, incredible journey from Brixton to USA. Now, have you arrived at your destination, or are you still in the making?
That's a very important question. I have not arrived at my destination.
Whoa.
There's so much more that I want to do. There's so much more that now it's more like having my own brands and putting my own name for it, owning my own things. As much as I love working for everyone else, I now think I can start putting my own face to my own brand.
Clothes, cosmetics?
I started with lingerie. Next comes luggage. It's like just different things. You'll see.
Terry Wogan.
Terry Wogan, rest in peace.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's David.
You're one of his first
He
and earliest interviews.
Was I?
Yeah.
I know that.
Very beautiful.
Oh, he's talking about it as well.
It's
on YouTube.
Is it?
Okay.
And what's the question?
How are you different from then to how you are now? And you showed your mother at that interview as well.
I did. Do you remember that one?
Terry Wogan introduced your
Well,
mother
she doesn't
as well.
remember. She doesn't really remember. She's a yes. But I think, when he passed away, I was very sad, and I did put him up on my Instagram, and I gave a little tribute. And I remember doing his show. He was a very nice man. Probably the first Irish person I ever met. And
The last.
No, I lived in Dublin. I love Dublin. And no, I think it was my first talk show that I ever did in London, and I was very nervous. But he was very warm. And how I've changed, I think I've just grown up. I've made many mistakes since then. I think I've owned up to all the mistakes I've ever made. But it was something special to be asked to do a talk show in your home country. I care very much about what this country thinks about me, if they're ever proud of me.
We are.
Thank you
We
so
love
much.
you. You're amazing.
So it matters to me a lot.
Okay, right, the girl, black, yeah.
Hi.
Not black hair.
Hi. So how was it filming Empire? Were you asked to sing on the show?
I did sing back up on Age is Nothing But a Number with Yaz. That was as much as I got to, that's as much as I was asked to sing. But how it was to do Empire, I did it for Lee Daniels, my director and a very good friend, and Brian Fraser, who's a great friend of mine, producer. And I didn't know in the beginning, I went the first season, I took the time off, I said, okay, I trust you, I'm going to do the show. But I was hooked from the first pilot that you showed me when you asked me to do it. And I thought, okay, let's go. I don't know if it's going to happen. It could work, it could not work. But I was very happy for Lee and Brian and Fox that it did work, and happy to be part of the Empire family. And it's been a lot of fun having a young boyfriend. No, it's shit paid. I'm starting again at the bottom of the ladder. I'm trying to get another career.
Go on. No, wait. Him first, then you. Okay, go on.
Hi.
Hi.
What advice would you give to younger mothers in the industry right now?
Really, honestly, you really have to really work hard, be perseverance, strength. Do not take any criticism as personal, and don't let it deter you from where you want to go and what you want to do.
Can you tell us about the time you spent with Nelson Mandela?
My time with Nelson Mandela Tata was amazing. I was talking about it to someone today, and I was very blessed to know him for 20 years and to spend some really quality time with him. Sometimes we just sit at the table and just hold hands and not even say anything. It was just to be in his presence for me was, and will always be so to me, something in my life that I treasure. And I always say to myself, Mum, how comes I got to know him? Why did he want to meet me? And you know, I learned a lot from him. And I think now, this would be year 3 that he's passed in December, I really feel that I need to do something with his name, and I need to speak. I just got my Mandela Legacy Award, and I feel that we need to do something with his name in an international way and continue his legacy, because this is someone that fought for so much for us, younger generation below us, just to have equal rights, to have a voice, to be heard. And the first time I ever heard his name was the Elvis Costello song. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know the story until I went to South Africa and I found out about him, and I gave my earnings at that time to the ANC, and then I got the phone call to meet him. So he's someone that...
I mean, after he was released?
After he was released.
Yes, yes. No, he loved you. The only time I met him, I said, do you love Naomi Campbell? He lit up, he says, I adore her. So, 1 minute, okay, there first. Go on.
In your career, do you have any regrets or something that you could go back to and change that you were looking for?
I actually don't have any regrets. You know, I was told when I started modelling that modelling only lasted for 11 years, and I was 30 years last week. And so I don't have any regrets.
You must have some regrets, like Frank Sinatra.
I think, you know, there's been some times where I won't say that it's not lonely, and you're on the road and you're traveling, and you're, you know, by yourself, or, you know, you're tired. Like, I lost it on Sunday. I just broke down. I just was exhausted after working in Brazil for 1 whole week non-stop, and getting on a plane and coming here and going straight to work again. I just suddenly, someone said to me, I said, what time do you have to be at work? And they said 6 o'clock in the morning. I just went really, and I just burst into tears. It just all,
I don't know how you could, because I didn't think you have any sense of time whatsoever. I remember taking Naomi to Shanghai to see the Minister of Culture. We all eat at 6 o'clock. And I said, you've got to get up at 6. And she says, I'm not getting up at 6. I said, but that's the Minister of Culture that you come all the way from Shanghai to see. And we've got, you know, a big banquet. Well, she slept through it. I was slightly embarrassed. And when she woke up, she says, let's go to Starbucks. Let's go to McDonald's.
Haagen-Dazs, wasn't it?
Haagen-Dazs, that's right, yes. Very good. Go on.
What makes a good photographer?
Light, for me, light. Light, and that can light any kind of skin. At any time, at any given time. That's what's important, I think.
When are we going to have a Chinese yellow skin lit up properly?
I think we're there. You've seen a beautiful cover that Stephen Meisel did of Fang. She did Fang, she did the whole Italian boat, the whole issue. Beautiful. Did you see it, Lucy? No. Beautiful. I'm going to try and get that.
Okay, that man has been voted the best dressed. Go on.
Red shoes.
Yeah,
I got red shoes on.
Do you believe that models should fight harder to when it comes to fashion?
Do I believe models need to fight harder? Well, we kind of lost the covers because all the actresses are taking them because it's good promotion for their films, and now everything's become such all-in-one. And but I've heard that they now want to start putting models back on the covers, so hopefully that will happen. But I mean, now it's like, you know, now it's like they want to be on our covers, let us be in their films.
Go on, Naomi Campbell.
Hi, Queen.
Hello.
Last night on Empire, we saw you take a swig of...
Was it last night?
Poison.
In London?
In London it was. And in American Horror Story, we saw you get snapped. Are you going to come back in either series? Or are you not allowed?
I'm not allowed to tell. I'm not allowed to tell.
Okay, let's have some.
There's no news channel.
1 minute. Cheap seat, right at the back. You two, go on, shout out.
Previously you said the British public took a long time to accept you.
What? Who?
The British
That's what I thought, but today proves otherwise.
Right, you're wrong. Okay, next one. Go on. Don't ask a stupid question. Learn your facts. Go ahead, go on. Zebra crossing, go on. What do you got? Come on.
There's a modern eat or drink. There's a supermodern eat or drink.
Eat
or drink.
Drink.
Sorry.
Well, you certainly do.
Be more specific. Be more specific. What
Do you even drink? What do you have to do?
I do. Actually, I'm a foodie. I love to eat. As you know, I'm always in this restaurant. What's my order? So much food.
So much food.
So much. I love to eat. I
think you might have a word.
I get fed. I do that actually.
What do you think?
But no, I love to eat. Eating makes me happy.
I think you're ready. Go on.
I want to find out what is the difference between being a black woman here in London and being a black woman in America in terms of work and just how you live, basically. We see a lot in America.
Hard question to answer. All right, I'm going to be very honest. I feel that in America I've been given a second chance, and I feel like what I've accomplished in America I don't think I would have accomplished here, especially being on television at 45 years old and given a chance to be an actress, which is what I always wanted to be when I started as a child. So I hope that the diversity in television opens up you in England more.
What's the most outrageous proposition you ever received?
Oh dear. I actually never really had so many outrageous. In terms of those crazy jobs that I've had offered to me or through my, but I never really had. I do have a tendency to just like someone has to come up to me and then tell man try to hit on me, don't fucking come up to me, don't look at me, just go away. I have that look and I do it when I need to, and it has saved me a lot. And I think having these wonderful father figures like Eliza Lyon, Quincy Jones and Chris Blackwell, and then Danny Versace and all these wonderful people around me, I never really got into trouble. I tried to find trouble because I was so protected, I was so lucky and blessed.
How many times have you been proposed to?
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
I didn't accept any of it.
Okay, right at the back, and then we'll work out. Go on.
What's the next step for diversity now?
Well, we haven't done our count yet. We've just finished fashion weeks all around the world, looking at Asia now. So now we'll do our count, which is Beth Ann's the head of this balanced diversity, and Iman and I's sister, which will now do a count, and we will see what the difference was from last season. We're hoping that it was more. There's been a few complaints of certain designers this season that didn't use any models of color in their show. So we've already made that known. But it's not an attack. We're not attacking people here. It's just a reminder to remember when you book and you've got your shows coming up, to remind you in advertising also, would be nice to use a woman of color of diversity, but all shades.
Yeah.
All shades.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in the pen, yes, and then you're in a jumper.
So you told us that you don't have any regrets. What is the biggest...
I knew what?
You told us already that you don't have any regrets.
Yeah.
But what is the biggest lesson that you've ever learned?
I've learned so many lessons. Fortunately, unfortunately, I've had to go up in front of the press my whole life. I wasn't even aware of what press meant until it's like, do something wrong, so oops. But I've got many lessons. I've learned, and I think to be humble, to be respectful of other people, no matter how far they test you and push your buttons, you can't react in a certain way. Of course, I'm normal. I get pissed off like everybody else does. I'm more like pissed off when someone that works for me does something like that steals or hurts, or because I trust very easily, which is not a good thing always. So those kind of things upset me because I always want to believe the benefit of the doubt. And sometimes you go against your gut and the consequence happens. So that's something now that I try not to rule and try to follow my gut now.
Do you think British press is worse than US press?
It's all the same now.
It's all the
Internet
same.
just made it all the same, yeah.
All right, okay. Yeah, I think it's yes.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask...
As you know one thing, sorry, with British press, the one thing that American press would never do is if you're in recovery, they would never out you for going to be in recovery, like English press did to me. When you said to me, remember, don't fight that case,
Yes.
and I did fight it, and we won, but it took about 3 years. It was horrible.
Well,
So that's it.
You obviously you're an actress now and a model, but obviously starting out you go out with a dream and you don't think of it as a business, but now you are a businesswoman. What do you think makes a good businesswoman, and what are you proud of as yourself as a businesswoman?
I don't know if I can say I'm proud of myself. That's something you have to ask my friends. So I would never say that, but I do like doing business. I like not only doing business for me, I think about my friends and other people, what I could do for them before I could do for me. I love producing and connecting people and thinking of things that what would be good for them to do. And being behind the scenes. It's not always everything I need to do is in front of the camera or in front of the scenes. There's so many things I'm doing that I'm not. And that makes me happy because I dream about these things and it comes to life.
But presumably you have to rely on a business person to...
Yes, absolutely. I have business advisors and I tend to go for people who are not in my business that are just can give me a straightforward criticism and who are successful. Obviously, I go for people at the top of what they do and that's who I go to for advice. I don't want to go for someone who's failed.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a question. So you're very successful, you're very pretty, you have it all going, for the last 30 years. How do you deal with stress and how's your spiritual connection these days? Could you tell anything about that?
My spiritual connection is, I do believe in a higher power.
Yeah.
I am in recovery and I thank by the grace of God that I'm sober and clean today. And
you're not Christian or Buddha or Muslim?
I was Christian Church of England, right, Mum? Christian Church of England. But listen, I go to any church. I went to church. I just went to church not long ago. I went to light a candle for Zahra Hadid. And a friend of ours that we lost. And I honestly, you may think that I have it all, but there are times I do get stressed. I was stressed on Sunday. When I get stressed, I internalize everything. Because I want everyone to think I can cope with it all, but I'm just as human as we all are.
Why were you stressed
One
on
point
Sunday?
I just exhausted, and it just all came to the head. And
that's because your book was launched last night. You haven't got a copy of it.
I know, because I just got on a plane from a 12-hour flight and was exhausted and I went straight into fittings. But no, we all get stressed. It's a normal thing to have. And I need to find more ways not to be stressed. And hopefully I can go back to my yoga and Pilates soon once I get my...
I just want to warn you, when her book came out, the publisher said, do you want copies? I said, yes, give me 10 copies. He says, that would be £25,000. I said, can I have volume 1? The one with 1 copy. It's going to be fabulous. Yes, go on. First blog question. Is it going to be television?
I'll try.
I'm sorry.
You seem very proud to be British, patriotic. Do you think that the UK should leave the EU?
Not gay man.
Yeah,
Next question.
Ask that Norman Lamont on Thursday. Stupid girl. How old are you? Are you supposed to be here? 16. 16? Yeah. Over or under?
Take your school uniform.
I just want to say happy birthday for last week.
Me?
Was it your birthday? Right, stupid boy. Sit down. Next question. All right.
One more chance.
Do your homework next time.
What was your biggest breakthrough in your modelling career?
I think doing
French book cover.
French book cover, the British book cover with my girls, Linda, Christie, Stephanie, Tatiana, and Time magazine cover, and Michael Jackson video. There's many George Michael videos.
The man with the most incredible haircut. Can you stand up? I want the name of your father. Go on.
In recognition of all the work you've done for diversity, do you think the entertainment industry does enough to support just women of all backgrounds?
In the world?
Just anywhere.
Entertainment business.
Yeah,
And diversity?
Yeah.
No, they could do more.
They do more.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Go on.
Hi, what do you think about things that's considered as black features being, what's the word, highlighted on a white woman? For instance, boxer braids and...
Who?
Boxer braids. So K-Rose are now called
cornrows. They're now called boxer braids.
Yeah.
Is that your name?
Yeah, because of Kim Kardashian, apparently. So what's your take on
I think-
that sort of stuff?
I don't have a problem with that.
You don't know.
I mean, if you look at an Egyptian book, braids go back from so many centuries ago. Why can't we all put braids? I don't have any
No,
problem
of
with
course, no, definitely.
that. Why do you think it's weird?
I just think that it's not really like appreciated on a black woman.
What, the braids? And the black with the cornrows. And when a white woman does it, it's more appreciated.
Yeah.
It's more of a fashion statement.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I understand. Interesting. I didn't think of it like that. I understand. That makes sense. I get it. And I used to wear cornrows as a child to school. It's easier to keep for the week, right?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm talking about.
That's a Muslim question. Go on.
Kind of random question, but do you think there's any similarities between your character with Empire and yourself?
I think there's always a bit of someone in someone in a character. I do. But I'm not ambitious takeover. I've never been someone who wants to take over. I'm not jealous about my friends and what they do. What I have is for me and what I do is what I do, and what they do is what they do. But I think, if anything, what inspired me for that character, Camilla, was more to watch like Joan Collins and Diane Carroll on Dynasty.
Okay, yes.
What was it like working with Ryan Murphy on American Horror?
Ryan Murphy was really lovely. I love that cast. Lady Gaga, Kathy Bates, Angela Bassett, Wes Bentley. Everyone was a great cast to be with. Everyone was really
Kathy Bates.
cool. Yeah.
Wow, she's...
And no, just a lot of fun, that set. A lot of fun. And they shoot so many cameras because they take it from so many different angles, and you can't understand why you're repeating it, but then when it comes out you see. It's really, he's a genius, Ryan Murphy.
Are we going to see you starring in a film very soon?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm not so much to talk about things before they happen. Even in
Which means yes. Yeah. What is it going to be? Which means it's about yourself.
No, it's not about myself. Oh,
So it's not about yourself, who is it about?
No, maybe that, but there may be something where I'm a character.
Alright, so it's a sort of story based on your character, but it's not quite you.
Oh no, if I'm ever to, no. If I was ever going to, no, I would never play myself fictional unless it's a bio something. But even then I wouldn't want to. That someone else should do it. I would just like to produce it.
Who?
I don't know.
Who do you think will play?
I think I'd just like to pick a young girl from Brixton, really.
No, hold on, wait, don't be greedy. You've asked the question already. We will be doing that in a minute. Don't jump down, that's my job. Now you, yes.
Hi, no. Such a busy life. How many PAs do you need to?
I don't have any.
You don't have a PA?
Don't want any.
That's why she's late.
Exactly. No, I've got wonderful management. I've got management, and I'm trying to basically cut down my team. I just basically want managers more than anything, and agents now. And I don't want to keep it small and tight, and it's more easy to handle. I try to be involved in all my affairs and know what I'm doing, what's happening myself. I feel it's the way you have to be to know what's what.
Okay, good.
Looking for a
Yes.
top man.
Go on.
I absolutely love your show, The Face.
Thank you. No, unfortunately, it's not come back in this country, not that I know of. There was talk about it, but I will never be in front of the camera again. I will only just produce
answer
it.
that question. Lately, we've been finding out about your mentoring with like Bella and Gigi and that.
Yeah.
Will we see more mentoring this side of the camera?
Well, no, not on camera. That's off camera.
Right.
But if any girl, doesn't matter who they are, asks me, could you just like show me how to walk or something? If I've got the time, I'll make the time with them and we're meeting, we're doing. Because I believe you have to share. Because I was taught how to take off a cape, how to talk with walk, and it's not how to walk. My mother taught me how to walk, but I was taught how to do certain things by the girls when I started modeling. So I believe you have to share that.
Why do
So I've got two
models,
girls, and I've got Natalie Ludwig, and I've got Bella, and I've got Gigi as well.
why do models have to cross their leg when they go on the walk?
I don't know, I never did. I don't know, I can't. I'll need to ask yourself that question.
Yes. Yes.
Hi, you have a very strong bond with your mother. Would you like to become a mother later on in life? Or?
I don't know how that much later is, I'm 45 as it is. But yes, I would love to, yes.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of godchildren.
Yeah, but you look
And I've got a lot of children in orphanages, but I don't have one of my own. But yes, hopefully God will bless me with that one day soon.
Yes.
How have you had a career for 30 years and you still look the same?
I don't think I do, but thank you so much. It's very kind of you. But I just try to, I eat well, and I try. I mean, I used to eat shit, but then I know I eat well. And I don't know, I try to take care of myself. I try.
Do you actually work out much at the gym?
Well, no, I don't like the gym. I only do Pilates and yoga. I'm not good on machines because I was a dancer. If I tend to do machines, I bulk up really quickly. So I don't run or anything like that, and I don't do machines. I just do weights.
What was the last piece of music you were listening to?
I was listening to Kanye's album and Rihanna's album.
And what was the last movie you watched?
Oh, last movie I watched, Reverend.
The Reverend. What did you think?
Loved it.
Loved it. Because you like...
Reverend, Beast of No Nations.
Yes. I thought it was a bit boring, wasn't it? I mean, it lasted for 3 hours. Well, it's not that I don't like it. I know you like it. I know you like Leonardo, but I mean, it was his face for about 3.5 hours.
I love the director.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he's a great director.
Yes.
I'm sure we're all absolutely delighted that you made it here today. I'm sure we're also delighted. Why you were late, can we ask?
Where are you from?
I was born originally.
No, where were you from? Are you from a newspaper?
I am a journalist.
I knew it.
Another more interesting question. Yes.
Sorry, just a very quick question. I'm an architect, so I'm just interested about in your house and where you have done by Zapa Kajit. Have you been involved in the design process?
I'm not doing this just now. Sorry. I can't. I just too sad for me because she hasn't been on 2 weeks. Sorry.
Yeah, it's very, very sad. Very sad. Go on. Another person in pink.
You always want to be a model, and how did you get to?
Very boring question.
Did I always want to be a model?
Always
I
wanted
know
to
I
be
did.
model.
Always
What
wanted
the
to. I
fuck do you
did.
think she's not?
I wanted to be. I wanted to be a dancer.
Read that book. What a tedious question. Yes, go on.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Say it again.
You have a daughter?
She's thinking, yeah, modeling also. Would you suggest that?
Yeah, why not? I mean, what's her main passion? Acting. So why not? I don't think, well, it doesn't hurt. There's so many, everyone crosses over nowadays.
What were you thinking of telling her not to?
No, she's, I was hearing her went to dance and acting and maybe just not be bothered with it. But I mean, I don't know, is it a great, is it
Well, she can make a few bob and modeling. Why shouldn't she try it?
Yeah, sorry. Have you answered this? Go on. Yeah, rum.
Can I
Go on.
just ask, on an average day, what's your morning and evening routine?
Crazy. No, it's either I'm in the studio.
Like, do you have like a routine in the morning? Like,
Routine. I have a routine in what I digest, yes. I get up and I have hot water with lemon, and then I take my acidophilus pill to coat my stomach, and then I do a shake.
A what?
With a shake, with like antioxidants. And I don't really eat breakfast. My breakfast is a shake. And then my day kind of begins.
All right. Good. Right, 3 last questions. Go on.
Do you think the fashion industry is doing enough to create body positive images for young women? And how can they if they're not?
I think we are, because I will say that, I must say we, because I know that all the agencies have come together. It's been a very important thing that, there was a point where some of the girls were underweight, and there's a code where they're underweight and they can't do the show. So they're not allowed to work. So I think most agents now have taken that into a huge consideration, and there is a code. I think that they don't pass a certain requirements, they're not allowed to work.
But France is the real culprit, isn't it? I mean,
Was France like the one that started it?
Yeah. I mean, they all want everybody to be a quarter of a thin size.
I remember once, I was in a designer again, where one of our friends had gone away because she got too thin, and then she came back, and the designer said, "Well, you got fat," and we were all so pissed at the designer because it's got to just go away. It's really, I think, But the anorexia and bulimia is one of the hardest ones to crack. It's really difficult, so that was really hurtful, and you don't know how that criticism can take someone, to hurt someone so much, you don't know how far they can go. So it's very dangerous to always comment. I'm very careful about what I say about that.
Right, 2 more questions, go on.
Hi, you said you turned down a lot of marriage proposals. In your dream world, who would you say yes to?
There is no dream.
All right, quickly.
Oh, I don't know, I met him yet, so I don't know.
Go on. Yes, you put your hand up.
No, it's okay. I've asked.
Say that again, sorry. It's hard, and it's quite hard because I travel a lot, and I'm on a plane like
all the time.
Or that I could go on a plane take 6 planes in a week.
Yeah, last week you were where?
I was in Brazil.
You're in Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo working. Yeah.
Or
Anfar? No, Anfar was actually Anfar has managed to happen at the same time. I was working for Brazilian Vogue, which is an all-black issue, by the way. Yeah, first all-black issue.
The first time?
For Brazilian Vogue, yeah. Which, can you imagine?
I never know whether Brazilians are black or...
They are.
It's sort of mulatto, it's sort of top.
I know. They are.
In Havana, I can't really tell whether somebody's black or brown. When people ask me for coffee, whether it's white or black, I always say brown.
For your outfit today, including obviously your
Oh, David, what's the designer again? I forgot. What's his name? It's my little,
There's no label.
There is a label. Marie, what's this outfit? Where's Marie? Desiree? Go downstairs.
Right, she's fine.
Okay.
There's no label, I promise you.
There is a label. Wait. I feel the label. Here it is.
Yeah. Millie.
Millie? Who's Millie? Ruth?
M-I-L-L-Y.
Millie.
What about
What?
the shoes?
The shoes is,
What are shoes?
What's that?
Made in Italy. Vero Cubia. Vero Cubia. There's a piece of chewing gum on it.
Okay, let me see.
Anyway, it's made in
We
Italy.
need to know. God, good gracious me. Just hope he's a naughty shoe. Yes.
Naomi Campbell, what I wanted to know is, because we heard you're a big fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, and
Yes,
we
I
really
am.
want to know, are you going to be on this season?
Oh, you know what? No, I'm not. She's asked me previously, but I've never conflicting schedules. But I would love to be, and I'm loving this. What's the name? Campbell? What?
Naomi Smalls.
Naomi Smalls. I'm loving Naomi Smalls. She's
Naomi Smalls.
You've got to see Naomi Smalls. She's great.
Are you Naomi Large? All right, over. Listen, time is up unless you have one last intelligent question. Okay, so somebody who has an answer. No, you have
Now, I want to ask the journalist, what newspaper are you from?
Freelance. Boo.
What?
Oh, you want a refund? You sound like a bit of a fishwife to me. Alright, don't worry. Listen. I think that even if we've waited for another hour, it will be worth it. And I want all of you to join me. Give this round of applause for Naomi Campbell.